Now, justice reform is also a part of the bigger conversation surrounding racial equality.
That's where we pick up with our roundtable discussion back at the Civil Rights Room of the Nashville Public Library. Judge Calloway, obviously you see a lot of young people come through your chamber. And we've highlighted, the media have highlighted a lot of high-profile incidents involving our young people. What would you like to see change with regard to, where we are with the criminal justice system and our young people, and what needs to happen?
There are a lot of things that I would like to see us change in regards to our criminal justice system. First and foremost, for our youth particularly, we have to recognize as a community that our youth are dealing with so much trauma. When you think about adverse childhood experiences and what our youth have to deal with on a regular basis, we can't always expect them to make the best decisions. It's so much more than just the one system. If we're not providing good housing and good nutrition and good education for all of our students, we are missing the mark full wide. As I think about the criminal justice system, I will say that I've had an opportunity to work positively with Chief Anderson, and he was very supportive of expanding our restorative justice program. Our restorative justice program, which started off just as youth who broke into people's homes, Chief Anderson actually came to us and said, we need to include youth who are carrying guns because that's the ones that we're going to be losing. And so we looked into that. And so there are things that we can do. We can expand restorative justice, not just for juveniles, but for the adult system. We know that that type of system works. It keeps people out of the criminal system, and it keeps them coming back to the system. When you hold them accountable in a different way, when we as a nation say, I need to hold them accountable and I need to find justice, and we relate that to incarceration, where we don't work with people, where we don't help them to get on their feet once they're out, when we don't do the things that are necessary to help people re-enter the society, we're not doing anything but turning the wheels. But when we say, we don't even want you part of the system, we want you to recognize the harm that you committed, recognize that you have the power to fix that harm, and that we're going to give you the support to do that. Those are the kind of things that are going to change a system. And it takes us all to change our thought process.
I'm going to give everybody a chance as we kind of wrap things up. We have some really good comments from everybody here. Just as long as you want to go, short as you want to go, how hopeful are you, each and every one of you, with regard to the movement that you're seeing and that things will, in fact, this time be different and change?
I would just like to start right here and just say I'm very hopeful in Jesus' name. Okay, I'm done.
Even though I'm an academic, I've been involved in quite a few, grassroots efforts, and in all those efforts, regardless of how dim it may be, I always maintain hope, in part because the human spirit has a creative genius, and they'll find a way to move forward even when it appears that their backs are against the wall. We have to push for bold reforms and bold ideas, even if they make some of us feel uncomfortable. So I'm very optimistic, but we have to be bold, we have to be courageous, we have to step outside of our comfort zones in order to move forward.
So I think if this city and if this country is serious about making change and making sure that we all move forward, like when we were little children, it says take one giant step, that we all get to move at the same time, then there has to be changes from criminal justice reform, education, housing, environment, just almost every aspect that you can think that impacts our lives. And we can't do it by ourselves. The white people have to help us do it.
Judge, get the final word.
Yeah.
And the gavel will drop.
And the gavel will drop. For me, I am hopeful. I do look at, 5 teenagers who decided that they wanted to do something and they needed help. They knew they needed help, and they called the Black Lives Matter and they said, we need help. We want to organize. We want to do something. and over 10,000 people, they were able to gather and keep things peaceful and to keep things moving, to have an agenda, to have good speakers, to have people from all walks of life mobilized to help their neighbors. I feel hopeful.
Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Yes.